Today, I think we should be in our third class, and we will be going through ISC2. And ISC2 is the body that handles the license certification that we earnestly desire to have in this program, or as you're starting your career in cybersecurity. So, ISC2 stands for Information System and System Certification Consortium. That is where you get a C squared, CC, Certification Consortium. So ISC squared. So we'll call it ISC squared. That's the name of the company that handles the license and certification. And so I think this is how their platform looks like, depending on the year or the month which I took this screenshot. You're expected to register for the platforms, register for the license exam this week. You have to register so that you will be scheduled at least in the next 2 months or 3 months. You should be able to write the exam. Um, there is no telling when they are going to stop giving it out for free currently, because if they stop giving it out for free, the price for getting this license is $199. It's very costly, very, very costly, especially for Nigeria and other African countries. So the video on how to register this exam is already on your folder. If it's not there after the class, when you check, you will let me know. But the video is already on your folder. And yeah. You have to follow it methodically, meaning you have to be very careful when filling up the details, especially your name, your details, everything. Because for you to be allowed to take the exam, you have to present your national ID or mode of identification, and it must match or tally what's it called with your original documents. You understand? So just a minute. Fine. There are so many people in different programs running, doing projects, and in this particular field. So when you register, you're going to see the platform opening. You're going to go through their program. First of all, passing their mock exam is not really as difficult or not really as simple, but it's very stressful. It's going to stress you to pass their mock exam. Mock is written in-house, meaning you're going to write it in your house, the mock. But the main license exam, which you will be ready to write in no time, is written, is an external exam. You go to a CBT center to write it. So when that time comes, we'll direct you on how to get it done. So these are some of the course objectives, and they have, I think, 5 domains of five topics that they covered in their exam. And it is those 5 topics that we're going to be talking about in today's class, but we have to divide it into 8 subtopics so that we will go deep dive into the subject matters. So this material also, like you already know, is on your program, is on your folder. You go through it. This is the ISC2 Code of Ethics, the ISC2 Code of Ethics, and ISC2 Code of Ethics Canon. The Ethics Preamble and Ethics Canon, both of them are going to come out in the exam, where they would want you to know what are the ethics preamble of ISC2, which says that the safety and welfare of society and common good, duty to our principles and to each other, requires that we adhere and also be seen to adhere to the highest ethical standards of behavior. Meaning, if you will take up the license of an ISC2 certified and cybersecurity personnel, you should be on your best behavior. You shouldn't have this license and go stealing people's stuff. You shouldn't. Also, the second preamble says, therefore, strict adherence to this code is a condition of certification, meaning whenever you are found wanting, you can be penalized and your license withdrawn from you. Then, under the code of ethics, kindly read them out if you are following me. I don't think you are still here. If you're here, you will hear what I'm saying and what I asked you to do. Hello, Mr. Patrick.
Hello, sir. Hello, I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Do what I asked you to do.
I can hear you now. I'm hearing you. I just like
So you
you said I
weren't
should.
following. You weren't following me. Read the code of ethics, the canon.
Okay. Okay. Protect society, the common good. Okay, protect society, the common good, necessary public trust and confidence, and the infrastructure. Act honorably, honestly, justly, responsibly, and legally. Provide diligent and competent service to principals. Advance and protect the profession.
What did I say will happen to you if you are caught doing the wrong things while holding the certificate of ISC2?
Uh, they can retrieve it back from you, the certificate.
Exactly. Yeah. So you should be on your best behavior when you are a member of this community. So in the exam, they might ask how this is going to come out in the exam is that they might ask you pick one of the following that is not part of code of ethics canons, meaning they might bring this one and add it inside here, then tell you to pick the wrong one out. So you should be able to know that, okay, this one belongs to this side. Or they can bring some of the ethic canons and put them inside the preamble and ask you to find the wrong ones out. So, like I told you, the exam is OBJ, and you should expect twisting of questions. So, let's go straight into the domains, which I am so that we could hit our time running. The first domain is security and risk management domain. And this domain covers the foundational concept of cybersecurity, which includes risk management, governance, laws, and ethics. This particular part of your training ensures or is getting you equipped ahead of your ISC2 certification exam license. Now, at the end of you studying for the exam and getting ready, we will also provide you with extended learning materials that will deepen your knowledge for the exam. The exam is usually very trickish. Uh, how many did I? What's the score that I told you you need to get before you pass the exam? Can you remember?
Above 70.
Yes, 70 and
Above
above.
70.
So, yes, so
Yeah, 70 and above.
it's interesting and it is always nice that you will get uh, the passing score and get the license at the first city. So the first domain we are looking at here is security and risk management domain. And we say that this domain covers the foundational concept of cybersecurity, including risk management, governance, laws, and ethics. It focuses on maintaining security policies, business continuity, and ensuring compliance with legal regulations. If we look at a use case, we'll say that under the risk assessment, a company evaluates potential risk before launching new softwares. Thereby also identifying threats like malware or data breaches and creating a plan to mitigate these breaches. That's under risk assessment. Under compliance management, a healthcare company ensures compliance with HIPAA to protect patient records. Security policies income. Organizations enforce password policies that require users to change passwords regularly to minimize unauthorized access. So we are actually looking at the use cases of the first domain, which is security and risk management.
Risk assessment.
Yes,
Okay.
security and risk management. So, and we said that this domain covers the foundational knowledge and concept of cybersecurity. And also, it focuses on maintaining security policies to maintain business continuity and also ensure compliance levels. And under that, we said that under the risk assessment, that a company evaluates potential risk before launching new softwares, going to check whether there are threats, how the threats are going to come, etc. Then also under the compliance management, for example, a health company ensures that compliance with HIPAA is being met to protect patient record. Meanwhile, HIPAA is like NAFDAC when it comes to health in the USA. So this organization ensures and makes it possible that companies, not companies, hospitals or health institutions, they securely use or make use of people's data. So under practical to do, imagine you are securing a home Wi-Fi network and you are meant to set your strong password, enable encryption, and restrict access to only trusted devices, which mitigates the risk of unauthorized access. So when you are going through the ISC2 training program, because they have their, like I told you, they have all the domains. They have 5 domains, and inside these 5 domains, we brought out 8 so that we can explain them normally. Okay. So when you're going through their training, we will understand better how each of the domains work. Domain 2 here is asset security. And we say that this domain involves the protection of information and asset through proper classification and handling. You must be able to classify, is this information important enough to secure it? If it's not, then there's no need. For example, when you get to the bank, or let's say you go to the hospital, the registrar at the gate, where people come in and write their name and go inside, how important is it compared to the patient's health record that is inside the hospital? Which one of them is more important?
Big. So, what was the question? You see?
I need you to be paying very good attention. You can't afford to lose concentration in any of our training. It comes at a great price, okay?
Okay, sir.
So
Sir.
please, I need you to pay great attention. Go ahead. You have a question?
Okay, sir. No, I was like, what was the question? I don't have any question.
Okay. I asked, in a hospital, the register that is at the gate man's office, that people come and write their name, coming and going out, and the patient health record that is inside the hospital, which one of them is more important?
The patient health record.
Okay, so which one will you protect more?
Of course, the patient's health record.
Good. So this domain that is asset security involves the protection of information and assets. True proper first is classification. When you understand that this information is what this, so I need to protect it more, then you can decide how to handle it. And that is why the gateman's in the gateman's office, you can see the register lying anyhow. Anybody can open it. But in the hospital, you wouldn't see the patient data anyhow. True or false?
True, sir. True, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So on the use case of asset security, we have data classification. So a company categorizes data as confidential or public. A company will categorize a data as either confidential or public to determine the appropriate level of protection. Also, under secure disposal, an organization securely disposes the obsolete hard drives or drives that they use. Most times they use some shredding techniques to ensure data cannot be recovered. Shredding techniques, for example, the most common shredding technique is this, what's it called? Paper shredder that they use to shred it into pieces. Maybe you have a document that you want to throw away, but you don't want it to enter into the hands of the wrong people. You pass it through the shredding machine, and the shredding machine will just pieces it. Mm. Under the practical, a small business needs to classify financial records as confidential and use encryption to protect them, ensuring only authorized personnel can access them. The third domain here is security architecture and engineering. We said that this domain focuses on designing and building secure systems and networks. If I may ask, when you want to build an underground in your house, when do you start talking about it? Is it after the building has finished or before the building starts?
Before
Yes.
before the building
So,
has
yes.
started.
So, while designing the concept of any network or any building or any structure, security should come into place. And it involves applying security models, ensuring encryption, and managing security measures to protect the infrastructure from threats. So if we go into a use case, we'll look at, let's see the secure network design. When designing a company's internal network, engineers use firewalls and intrusion detection systems to block malicious traffic. When designing a company's internal network, engineers use firewalls and intrusion detection systems to block malicious threats. In the IoT system or security, a smart home setup is protected by applying encryption to communications between those IoT devices. What is an IoT device? What does it mean?
I wanted to even ask that, sir.
Okay, what did to ask? Interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what
Have you
is
asked your
IoT.
chat GPT, your assistant, have you asked it any questions since your last class?
Yeah, I can send you the link, sir. I can
Okay.
send you the link for the chat.
I will demand the link at the end of the program so that I'll know
Yes.
you're keeping track.
No
So
problem. Okay,
it's gonna be
no
the
problem, sir.
question at the end of the class you ask it um, what is IoT devices? Then it will
Okay.
explain to you. Now, under the practical, a student learning about cybersecurity might design a mock secure email system incorporating encryption to protect messages from interception. Because this is achievable, I want to show you a scenario of what is achievable.
So the student that is designing this mock secure email, is it like, let me just say, like he's creating an example, like a
No,
practical like
you could
email.
choose to do it as your practical. You can decide, okay, I want to do this
Okay.
as my practical and put it on my CV that I did this.
Okay. Okay.
So if you
Okay. Okay.
also query your chat GPT and tell it I want to do this practical, it can guide you towards doing it. So everything is possible.
Okay.
So it is possible to have, I want to paint a scenario for you so you see what is happening. So we can have Emeka here, and Emeka is sending a message through WhatsApp. He's sending a message to Obi. So this is Obi, and this is Emeka. And they are sending an email across. Maybe they are sending a picture. Now, there is a possibility that a bad man here will intercept this message, read, redirect this message, read it, then forward to Obi another thing. So you keep on talking to Obi, thinking that it's only you and Obi that is talking. Meanwhile, there is someone here who is a threat actor who is listening to what people are talking about. In fact, what I'm telling you is achievable even with WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not as secure as it looks. WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, almost all the messaging platforms. Most of them, when they say they have P2P protection, it has limits too.
So
So,
that means
yes, go ahead.
so so that means WhatsApp is not encrypted.
No, it's encrypted to an extent.
Okay. Okay. There's
Yeah.
people that do hack it,
Yes, of course.
that do threat.
Yes, of course. In fact,
Wow.
the security people, the owners, when security issues arise, they can give up your chat details.
Wow.
Yes, like very full, they'll give up your chat details. Look at how it is. Some countries actually made it in such a way that for your products to be in their country, the government must have rights to look into the details when there is need. So when someone is an offender and the government wants to fish him out, they will just go to the authority. They will go to the owner of WhatsApp. They will go to the owners of any other platform and tell them, we are looking for this person. We want to see what the person has been discussing, who the person has been chatting with, what they have been chatting, and the
Yes.
platform will vomit everything. They will just can catch the person. So security, when people tell you, we use VPN, they will not catch you, just don't let anybody deceive you. uh, Security gets to a point and it stops security. Okay. The practical, like we also say, yes, a student might decide to build an email system incorporating encryption to protect messages from interception. So the fourth domain would be communication and network security domain. This domain emphasizes securing networks and data communication channels. Their emphasis lies in securing networks and data communication channels. It addresses how information is transmitted across networks and how to build it from threats like eavesdropping and data interception. Hmm. Just a minute. Okay. Under the use case, we're in network security. Under the use case, we say network segmentation in a corporate environment, separating the network into segments ensures that if one segment is compromised, the others remain secure, which is a very nice way of securing networks. Program. VPN implementation. Employees working remotely use VPN, that is virtual private networks, to securely access company resources, preventing man in the middle attack. It also prevents this when you use VPN to surround or encrypt your message. So this thief, he gets the message, but he can't decrypt it. He can't read it. He has no other option than to let it go. On the practical, when connecting to public Wi-Fi, users should enable a VPN to secure their communications and protect sensitive information from being intercepted. So you see where people will go to a place, they tell you, free Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. And someone like, almost that hotel get free Wi-Fi. That bar gets free Wi-Fi. Let's go there. Okay. Have you ever seen any platform or any building that says they have free Wi-Fi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My brother's university, they are using
Okay.
free Wi-Fi.
Interestingly, let me make this known to you. If this is the university, okay,
Yes, sir.
and there are, let's say, 500 people in this university, and these 500 people are connected to the school's internet, which is the free Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
If you come in into this school and you connect, anybody that wants to see or see your laptop, see the things you're doing, will be able to see it, because everybody who is connected to this free internet is inside one network. So far as you're inside one network, your devices can be hacked. Everything inside your system can be hacked. In fact, during your practical, you will be able to know. In fact, let me give you an example. I am my my network currently in my office now. I know there
Mm.
are few devices connected to my what's it called, my network. So every device that is
Yes.
connected to my network, I can see them, and if I want to hack them, I can hack them. If I want to know anything about them, I can know anything about them, and that is how open anyone is when they are connected to a public Wi-Fi.
On the
So
free network.
yeah, so
Okay.
let me check how many devices that are connected on my network in my office. I'll run a simple command nmap uh, SN192. I'll just use one of the networks that is available and use it and find every other device that is connected to my network. A plus. I'm already showing you what you should be doing during our practicals. You're going to learn how to do network scanning during the practical days. Network scanning, network enumeration, port scanning, you're going to do all this. So when I send this command, it's going to list out all the devices that are connected to my network. Are you
Oh,
seeing it?
I plenty.
Yes, so it said
Yes.
10 hosts, meaning there are 10 devices connected to my network
10 people.
currently.
Mm.
And I know one of them is my smart TV. My TV is on the internet, is
Okay.
on my network. Then I also know
Okay.
the router is number two. My phone is number three. I have a network repeater that should be number four. Um my laptop that I'm currently using to do this training is connected to the internet. That is number five. Then my virtual device is number six. Then I have four other laptops or systems under the server that are connected. That's 10.
Wow.
In fact, inside the virtual box, I still have three other systems that are not yet on. See their status, they are powered off, aborted. So if I
Mm.
have switched on these other systems now, it will get to 13. So it is very easy to get hacked. For example, if I want to know things about any of these systems, all I can do is just from here. So far as I am part of the network where they are in, I can know anything I want to know. And that is how easy it is for someone to, hijack anybody in a free come, everybody come, we are giving free network. So this domain is telling us that when connecting to public Wi-Fi, users should enable a VPN. The VPN will at least protect you individually from the whole network. You are inside the network, oh, but it will protect you, at least give you a layer of protection. Meaning, for me now to bypass, to crack you, I have to do extra work. So when people look at the extra work to do to crack a thing, they will decide whether it is worth it or not. Do you get the point?
Yes, sir.
Good. So the
Okay.
fifth domain, yes, go ahead, ask a question.
So like if you're using if you're using a public uh Wi-Fi, you need to connect to a VPN. But some VPN, they will tell you like connect to a particular country, or is there like a specific VPN that protects you or something like that?
VPN is VPN, but when you are connecting, when they ask you to connect to a different country, it means it's just a different address. For example, somebody telling you you have to hide your address. Okay, which address should I use? Say use the address in Port Harcourt, use the address in USA.
Okay.
That is what VPN does.
Okay,
It
okay.
hides your
That means
address.
now you're holding your own address. Okay, okay, okay. I
Yes.
understand.
So you are masking your address. When somebody looks, the person will think
Yes.
you're in Port Harcourt. Meanwhile,
It is,
you
yes.
are somewhere in area.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the next domain is identity and access management. I am. Oh, I am. This domain involves managing user identities and controlling access to resources. This domain involves managing user identities and controlling access to resources. It ensures that users are properly authenticated and authorized. There is a big difference between authentication and authorization. It is going to come out in your ISC2 exam. When you are being authenticated means someone give you access to come inside the bank. Then when you're not authorized to use the bank products, meaning you are not free, you are not eligible to use those products. So you have phone, you are authenticated to use the phone. Maybe you put in the first initial password. But for you to make use of the banking tools that is inside that phone, you have to be authorized to use it. So there is a deep, very close differentiating factor between authentication and authorization. In fact, ah, you're going to get a lot of questions coming out from these two concepts. And before your exam, before your main license exam, the materials you're going to be giving to you will expand more on these concepts. But you're going to see it, and it's going to be very interesting. So under the use case, multi-factor authentication. This authentication, this is not authorization, this is authentication. Multi-factor authentication. And talking about multi-factor authentication, we have hmm, this is deep. Let's talk about this. Are you there? I hope you're there,
Yes, sir.
because what we're going
Yes,
to
sir.
talk about is very, very important. When we are talking about authentication, we have what do they call it? Type 1. Please listen very carefully. We have type 2. Listen carefully because we're going to get a lot of questions exam that's going to come out from this stage. Then we have type 3. So we have three types of authentication: type 1, type 2, and type 3. Now, type 1 is tagged what you know. What did I say is tagged?
What you know.
And what you know can be in the form of your password. You know your password, right?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, it can be your password. It can be your passphrase, etc. This is type 1, first level of authentication, what you know. Then type 2 is what you have. If you understand these concepts the way I'm explaining them, when you see them in the exam hall, you clean them like what's your best soup?
Egusi.
Good. You clean them by like a goosey soup. You clean them and lick your mouth. So type 1 is what you know.
What you know.
Yes, which can be your password or your passphrase. Then type 2, which is the second level of authentication, is what you have. You can have your um, what do they call this thing? Uh, when they send
Authenticator.
yes, exactly. You have your authenticator pad, OT pad, or you have your second device. You have
Yeah.
what's this one they use in the bank for banking? Yeah, was
Yes, USSD.
yes, yes.
USSD
Your
message.
USSD will come to your second device or your most trusted device. There is this device that people use to put their password uh, when they are banking. Big men bankers they use it. Token,
Okay,
hardware
okay.
token. Yes, your hardware token. Now we have software token anyway. But whatever you have falls under type 2 authentication. Now, type 3 is who you are.
Who you are.
And who you are is in form of your biometrics.
Face ID.
Exactly. Your facial IDs, your fingerprints.
Yes. Fingerprint.
Yes. Anything that has to do with your biological picture, your eye scan, your
Yes.
retina scan. So these are the three conceptual types of authentication. Now, questions can come in this form. They could ask you, which of these, or what type of authentication is this? They will mention password, they will mention passphrase, they will mention password 1, password 10. You already know the answer. The answer will be a type 1 authentication because they will
Password.
give you,
Yes.
yes, they will give you options. They will ask you, is it a type 1 or a type 2 or type 3? So they can ask you, they can say which of these are type 1 or which of these are type 2 type of authentication. Another question that I've seen that comes out very well is they can ask you which of these type of authentication that when lost you cannot retrieve it again. Which
I
of
think that would
these
be type
type what?
type 2.
Okay, let's check if your answer is correct. If you lose your password, what do you do?
You do the forgot password.
Exactly. Now, when your hardware token that you got from the bank gets missing, what do you do?
Actually, I don't really know, but I don't think you can recover it.
If you lose your phone that you're using for your authentication, what do you do?
You can't retrieve it because unless maybe the authentication is linked to your Gmail or something like that. But I don't think you can
So,
retrieve it because
so obviously, you will have to replace your device or go to the bank and get a new
yes.
hardware, and they will close that one and deactivate it. Now, if someone steals your biometric, maybe your fingerprint or facial recognition, how do you retrieve it? How, how do you cancel that one? Now you get
Can they
where I'm
really
coming from.
steal someone's? Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, of course. Now,
But
for example, if you
uh,
come to my house and I give you a glass of water and you drink the glass of water, when you leave, I can recreate your thumbprint from that glass.
but I still have the thumbprint. Like I can still access my
Now we have
file or anything.
now we are two persons who can access your file. You can access it, me I can access
Okay.
it. There
Okay.
is no
Yes.
more.
Yes.
It's no
Yes.
more
Yes.
secret. It's no
More
more
secured.
secret.
Yes.
Yeah. So and you
Yes.
cannot cancel. You cannot change your fingerprint
Your
because
You cannot
you
change your
can.
face.
You your
Yes.
fingerprint you cannot still change it. So when they ask you an exam, which of the type of authentication when lost cannot be retrieved is type 3, which is your biometrics, your facial, all those stuff. So what happens is whenever you find out that your type 3 authentication has been compromised, you actually deactivate it. You don't use them anymore. If someone gets the fingerprint of the president of USA or the Russian, it is gone. He cannot change his fingerprint again. Someone else has it. So that security feature, in order not to endanger the lives of the country or he himself, he'll just if probably he was using his fingerprint to open his phone, he will not more use the fingerprint again. He will now deactivate and start using pattern or probably start using another type of authentication. So basically we have these three types of authentication. Now, whenever you hear multi-factor authentication, it means a combination of 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 or 3 and 1 or 1 and 3. For you to have multi-factor authentication, it has to be a combination of two or more of these types. Meaning, two-factor authentication is you know your password, okay, then they will not send an OTP to your second device. Now you understand, right? That is what is called a
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication comes from using multiple authentications, and we already seen the types of authentications we have, which can be type 1 or type 2 or type 3. Then if you are explaining to someone who doesn't know or who is not in the field, because when you are in the field, nobody's going to be telling you use your password. They'll tell you use type 1, use a type 1 authentication, or use type 2, or use type 3. So when you're now discussing with someone who is not cybersecurity learned, you will now explain to the person. The person will say, which one is type 1 authentication? You will now say, okay, type 1 is maybe your password or your passphrase. Type 2 is your authenticator, your hardware tokens, etc. Or your external device where OTPs goes to. Then type 3 is your biometrics, who you are, your fingerprints, etc. Any question?
No, no, I'm flowing, sir.
Okay. So We are on number fifth domain, which is identity and access management. And we said that this domain involves managing user identities and controlling access to resources. And we say that it ensures that users are properly authenticated and authorized to access systems based on their role and privileges. And we said under the use case that multi-factor authentication, employees use both a password and a fingerprint to access sensitive financial systems, which enhances security. Then under access control policies, an IT department implements, this is another area that's going to come out very well in exam, access controls. Access control policy is going to come out very well in the exam. Say an IT department implements role-based access control system, which is in short for RBAC, role-based access control, to ensure that only administrators can change system configurations. What do you understand by role-based access control? What do you understand by this type of access
Mm,
control?
um, from my understanding, I think it's like maybe a particular set of people that have access to the system configuration.
For
Like
example,
there's
if
there
you're
are,
in the bank,
there are five below to them.
yes, your role will be responsible for
B
your
to
your actions. For example, if you're in the bank, you have the access of the bank to perform such and such a role. If you are not working in the bank, you don't have access. So the people who are working in the bank, they have access because of the role they play. You understand? So that type of access control is called role
yes, sir.
based. Role based. We also have rule based. We have role. So when you are preparing for exam, you're going to have extensive training materials explaining all this. So we have role based. Your role. We have rule based. We also have MAC and DAC, which is mandatory access control, which deals with objects and clearance. This actually means that for you to have clearance, you must be an object, you must need this particular role, this particular access control. We also have, I think, uh, there's either 4 or 5 types of access controls. These are under access controls. It is very, very important you know them ahead of your exam. So, in this case, access control policies, an IT department implements role-based access control to ensure that only administrators can change system configurations. Practical, setting up multi-factor authentication on your personal accounts, such as on your email or social media accounts, adds an extra layer of security, reducing the likelihood of account takeover. So the next domain is security assessment and testing domain. Remember the main ISC2 program, what's it called? Their main curriculum has only 5 domains. What we're doing is to split those 5 domains into pieces so that we can touch more places that the ISC2 might not be able to touch. So that is what we're doing. So in this domain 6, security assessment and testing, we said that this domain focuses on evaluating the security posture of systems through assessment testing and audit. For example, when you build, a specialist is meant to come and test what you built to check whether it is secure. That is the role of this domain. It includes vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, and continuous monitoring. Under the use case, penetration testing, a cybersecurity team tests an organization's defenses by simulating cyber attacks to uncover vulnerabilities. Whenever a penetration testing is being carried on in a product or in an organization, we are doing it to test the security posture of that product or that company. Vulnerability scanning income. Automated tools are used to identify weak points in network or softwares that could be exploited by attackers. So under the practical, using
Sir,
free to yes, go ahead.
sir. So this penetration testing, that means the cyber security personnel is the one that will attack the system to check
Yes,
for
yes,
the vulnerabilities.
yes, you will be.
Okay.
So that is the difference between ethical hacking and what's it called? The hacking the bad way. So when you are doing an
Threat actor.
ethical,
Threat actor.
yes, yeah, the difference between an ethical hacker and the threat actor. So the ethical hacker has the permission of the company to penetrate into the system, to hack into the system. While doing it, is documenting the processes to taking, the doors he's following, the weaknesses he has seen, he's documenting all those. And at the end, he will hand it over to the owners of the security products. But the threat actor doesn't do so. In fact, the threat actor does so only to infiltrate and cause harm to the owners. So under the practicals, using free tools like Nmap, which you're going to be using very soon, beginners can scan their home network, just like I did, for potential vulnerabilities, ensuring that all
Sir.
devices are properly secured. Go ahead.
Okay. This penetration testing, there are people that are work is to like that is like their work. I think you told
Yes,
me one certain time. I think
yes,
that
of
was your
course.
class two.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
Yes,
class two.
yes, yes,
Yeah, under the listen, there are people that is their work to attack,
yes,
then
yes.
to discover.
Yes. So, like I told you, in this program, while the program is going on, you will find a passion, a place where you think you would perform very well and keep on building your skills from there. So, we're going to be doing this penetration testing is still going to be part of your capstone project, meaning at the end of the project, you will do a mini penetration testing. You will attack a system that is meant for practicals. You will attack the system and perform some activities there. Then at the end of the program, I think my network is trying to. Hmm.
Hello,
My
sir.
net, yes, my network went out there,
Okay.
so I switched. I quickly switched over to the second network. I have like three networks on standby in case one goes off, the other one picks up.
Okay.
So, but your hands are still raised. Have you asked the question?
So no, I was like, when you went off, I was like, maybe
Okay,
like trying to like check it. Yes.
okay, it's all right. No problem. So if you will be able to be doing those practicals before we finish. Then at the end, you'll see where your strengths lie in. and you know whether you want to control that. Then, second to the last domain is our security operations domain, which we've extensively talked about. True or false? This domain involves the day-to-day tasks required to keep an organization's assets secure.
Just this is the SOC analyst people.
Yes, that's their job role. It includes incident response, disaster recovery, and maintaining the operational security of information systems. Their use case, disaster recovery team. After a cyber attack, a company uses its backup systems to restore data, critical data, and operations. In fact, under this disaster recovery, there are a lot of questions also that are going to come out from it for your exam. When you're preparing for the exams, look out for those questions. Under recovery, what systems should come up first, which ones are to come up last, etc. Recovery size, recovery deeds. We're going to see some of those questions. Under incident response, a security team detects a phishing attack and quickly responds by blocking malicious IPs and quarantining the affected systems. Practical to do. Developing a basic incident response plan for your personal devices can help you react quickly if they are compromised. For example, if you notice that someone has hacked into your Facebook, knowing what to do, how to lock the person off, how to recover your Facebook or your all your other accounts, all those things are what we call incident response plans.
But sir,
Then, yes, go
sir,
ahead.
you say in that one the practical to do they said such as knowing how to change password or disconnect from the internet. When they're hacking your Facebook, we disconnecting from the internet it won't help you.
No, disconnecting from the internet. You know, there are several cases. There are cases that someone has hacked into your system and is already into your system. The
Mm.
person hacked remotely into your system. So when you shut down, the person will not be able to move again inside the system.
Okay, okay, that's if you're using a this thing like a laptop or computer, right?
So let me explain it for you practically. It's very tricky. And um, let's say, for example, which state are you in now?
Akwa Ibom, Uyo.
Okay, you are in Uyo,
Yes.
and I'm in Las Gidi. So, and I have set up the SOC lab here, and you need to practice your SOC job roles. So, I will provide you a VPN port. So, you will connect to my SOC lab using a VPN that I'll provide for you, and also a specific port number, probably port 22. You use it and connect to my SOC lab. Now, inside your room, you are now sharing the same network with me and you are inside my systems. If I shut down this system, you'll be disconnected. If you are a bad person, what the bad person will do is when he is inside my network, he tries to create username and password quickly that will log him inside without my permission next time. Do you get how these things work?
Yes, sir.
So when I notice someone is unauthorizedly inside my network, one of the things I will do is shut down and disconnect the person, then reboot the system in a secure environment, clean the system up, wipe it off from every traces of the threat actor. So that when he tries to connect again, he will meet a block. He tries to connect again, he will meet a block. That door he was using to connect has been done what? Closed.
Yeah.
Any question?
No, I understand it now. The thing is, I see like it's only like referring to maybe in terms of cyber security. What of if the person like is not like cyber security inclined?
Otilo.
He like
Do you know what is Otilo?
yes, now you don't go.
You don't go there. So the person is gone with that. That is why you are getting this information and this knowledge.
Okay,
So,
okay, I understand
yeah.
that.
Now, if it is for normal social media accounts and someone is on your account, notice that someone, for example, I woke up one day and I was seeing posts on my Facebook that I did not post. Uh-uh. So what is happening? I did not post this thing. Some of the people I asked question on the Facebook market, the prices I asked them before, I now found out that they are now replying. And I said, come on, I did not, I'm not the one that sent you this reply again. What is happening? That was when I now found out that, oh, somebody must have hacked into my Facebook. And before I know it, the name of my Facebook changed from my name to Edwin something. So, because I have multi-factor authentication in place, I had to take immediate actions, change my password, they send the OTP, I received it immediately, change the password, change this, and was able to clean out all the devices that my account has been logged in. I closed them, deleted them. In fact, that name the person changed, I had to carry that name for for like 60 days more, a bit 90 days, because Facebook has a policy that you cannot change your name twice in a period of few days or few weeks. So when you change your name now, the next time they're going to change your name should be in next 3 months. You'll be able to change your name. So I have to carry the wrong name for the next 3 months. People are like, Mr. Brian, did you change your name on Facebook? I say, no, now bad person do this one, no. So knowing what and how and where to touch to save your devices or save yourself from harm is very important. It's called incident response. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the last domain is a software development domain. This domain covers the security of software applications throughout the development cycle. It ensures that security is integrated into the system, into the design of the system. First of all, the design, the coding, the testing, and even the deployment of the software. So this domain ensures that security comes into play at the various levels and stages it should. Under the use case, we are saying that the secure coding practices, developers or programmers should follow or advise to follow guidelines to prevent common vulnerabilities like SQL injections or cross-site scripting in web applications. Meanwhile, are you aware that someone can hack your laptop or your phone and switch on your camera or your recording without you knowing, without the recording showing that it's recording, without your phone showing that it's recording you, and your phone will be video recording you on the ground.
No, but I think I've seen that in a movie before.
Okay, you saw it in
I've
a
seen
movie.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
interesting. Okay, I just wanted to draw your attention to that.
Yeah.
So developers are advised to follow guidelines to prevent common vulnerabilities like SQL injection. Talking about SQL injection, this is structured query language injection. It is normally is a language that is being used to write or design database. Okay, go ahead.
You said structured. I didn't hear the other part clearly.
Query language, structured query
Okay,
language.
query language.
So it's
Okay.
like querying what you used to query, what you used to ask questions. If I want to talk to the database, there is a particular language I need to speak to the database, so the database will bring out the result I want. If you go to the bank and you want to retrieve your information, so normally what they do is on the surface we type in English, but those English are being transferred into structured query language that talks to that database and brings back our replies for us. So the practical we are going to be doing under the penetration testing will be under SQL injection, structured query language injection. We are going to be injecting the database with malicious contents to deceive it, to get it to behave in certain ways for us to get what we are looking for. Likewise, the second one is a cross-site scripting, but we're only doing the SQL injection during the practical. If you have time on yourself, on your practical time, you can still go ahead and practice the remaining ones. Because there are close to either 12 types of vulnerabilities, 12 known, officially known types of vulnerabilities. Every other ones will be around them. So under the use case of security testing in development, a company implements static analysis tools to automatically scan code for security flaws. When programmers write code, those codes are meant to be scanned for security flaws before you deploy them. Practical to do. A beginner learning about web development could practice writing code that avoids vulnerabilities by using a tool or a technique called input validation technique, meaning he should be able to put systems in place that will check when you ask someone to put username, is the person really putting a username or putting a random nonsense word? So those kind of checks should be put in place in platforms so that people will not abuse those platforms. Where you're supposed to put username, sorry, email address, you just put Nkem or Okereke. The system should flag it and say Okereke is not an email address. Put a real email address. You understanding me, right?
Yes, very well.
Yes.
Understand this part, well.
So that is what input validation technique is, and it is very important in platforms, websites, and applications. In fact, the system we are going to be hacking or using for our project does not have this input validation technique, and that is the reason why we are able to be even attacking it and succeeding in the first place. So we've come to the end of today's class. The tools on your folder, you're going to get a link called Tools to Install. When you go through it, you're expected to download and install a virtual box, download and install a Kali Linux machine. You're going to also, but ahead of the next class, the most important for the next class is for you to read up about IP address, IP class, and IP octet. You can also let your ChatGPT to give you a summary on this so that you can understand it before the next class. Also, read up about Nmap and read up about network ports and the types, because I think those are the things we're going to do next before we go into the practicals.
Okay, sir.
So, thank you very much, Pascal, for coming around for the class. The fire is burning and ahead. We are going. See you next time. Have a nice week ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Bye.
send you the link now to your WhatsApp.
No, I don't need to check it. It's during your graduation. I will check it to ensure that you followed everything.
Okay.
If you did
Okay.
not
Okay.
follow, your graduation will be delayed.
No problem. No problem, sir. No problem.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye, sir. Good night.